turns out I was going in the wrong direction. It figures I've made an assumption that I was going in the right direction. Oh well, guess I wasn't. So now I have to go back down here. We're all human, it happens. Now I could just sit here in the quiet. This random guy was in the metro and he was like rolling his bike around, but he was bumping into people. And then as soon as he got out of the metro, he just started like riding his bike on the platform. Some people. I see a giant orange ball in the distance, but I don't know what that is. Also, last time I was in Montreal, I ordered Harvey's off of DoorDash. It was pretty good. It's only a Canadian chain, but I loved it. The more that I walk in this area of Montreal, it's really reminding me of Niagara Falls. Just because of how the layout is so different around here. This behind me is Auto Route 15. I'm very familiar with this highway, and honestly, I'm not surprised that it's crowded right now. Bienvenue à Orange Julep. So one of the employees inside Orange Julep gave me a free sample, and it's honestly pretty good, but for the sake of my video, taste test. That is incredible. And it's not like any crazy citrusy taste to it. It's actually really sweet to the taste. Poutine, because why not? I say this with full confidence. Montreal is the food mecca of North America. I think it is pretty fascinating just traveling to Canada without a car, because every single time I've been here previously, I always used a car to get around everywhere, except if it was like right here within Montreal. So like going here to Orange Julep, it was pretty easy. But say if I wanted to venture out and, I don't know, visit Stansted again, I don't know if there's any buses that leave from Montreal to go there, or you could take an Uber, but that'd be hella expensive. But this is pretty nice. Like, I'm getting a different perspective on this city that I've come to adore so much. So worth taking the wrong direction on the metro. Had to charge my phone, my AirPods, and my portable charger all at the exact same time. So that led me to just sitting inside this McDonald's for a little bit. Now, I'm gonna head back towards downtown Montreal, and I'm actually gonna visit McGill University, because last year the Scream 6 movie released, and it wasn't until the credits rolled that I actually figured out that the movie was filmed here in Montreal, and it was supposed to look like New York, but I wanted to go see McGill University because it was featured in the movie. I found a reason for me. This is the first time I've seen a combo Tim Hortons and Wendy's. Before I visit McGill, I'm actually gonna make my way over to Notre Dame Basilica. C'est très belle. Oui. The first time I visited Le Chateau Frontenac in Quebec City, it looked exactly like this with all the scaffolding. I just think that's pretty funny. The one time I come over to Notre Dame, it's so funny. I was here Sunday night and I literally did not notice Notre Dame. Like, how did that even happen? Like, I don't even know. Espoir est un plat bien I think I found the entrance to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. There's no wait, let's go. Are you happy to be in Paris? Oui. So on my way to McGill, I actually came across something else that I wasn't expecting. This Olympic Experience Center right here at the intersection of Beaver Hall and Rene Levesque. So this was actually unveiled in 2015, and it's here to commemorate 3 Olympic Games that happened in Canada over the past 50 years. So the Montreal Games, of course, in 1976, and then there was Calgary in 1988, and then most recently Vancouver in 2010. So I think I made it to Montreal's equivalent of Yonge Dundas Square, because they got an Eaton Center right down this street. Also, apparently, a hockey game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Philadelphia Flyers is happening tonight. And I honestly had no idea that was happening. Maybe I'll go watch it on TV somewhere. Get a drink. Honestly, since this place is filled with a bunch of other 20-somethings, I blend in perfectly here. Although I kind of stick out a bit because I'm filming myself. Now that I've been sitting here for a little bit, I can kind of remember the scenes that I watched in the movie. And like all of the places that happened here. Like I do remember seeing that rotunda in the movie. And then I believe down this way too, what's also featured in the movie. I haven't seen it since it came out, so it's just a miracle that I even remember that. Something that's kind of thrown me off for most of this trip is the weather. So obviously when I arrived, it was kind of chilly because it was at nighttime, but over the past 2 days, it's actually been quite sunny out. So the current temperature is 63 Fahrenheit, and if I had this exact same type of weather in Florida, it's cold. Like, I don't even understand how that happens, but now I understand when Floridians say that it's cold outside, even though it's like a little bit under 70 degrees, but I can understand. Maybe it's just the fact that I'm wearing sweatpants. It does feel a little warmer out. I really don't know. I feel like this time around on this trip to Montreal, I've just kind of taken things at a slower pace and didn't want to go to as many places because I just wanted to kind of take in my surroundings without constantly having to throw money at it. I like observing. It's very entertaining. All right, I think I finally made a decision on where I'm going tonight. So I'm gonna go over to Peel Pub here in Montreal. This one is over on Peel Street. And I gotta take a bus to get down there. But you know what? I'm all good with that. I looked down for 1 minute and it's like I'm back in New York. What the hell? Go Habs, go. With me a winning girl, you don't have to roll the dice. I love you, baby. So I got this shot called the Montreal. I'm gonna put that down before I lose most of it. This is called the Montreal Irish. I hardly ever have shots, but I wanted to try it out. Ooh. See you out that door, baby, bye, bye, bye. Definitely worth the time that I spent there. Now, time to figure out what I'm gonna do for the rest of the night. So it turns out that McGill University has their own Couche-Tard location, so I decided to get a snack from there before I headed back towards Hochelaga. And so I decided to get a blackberry brisk iced tea and this interesting Canadian dessert that I've not seen anywhere else called Jo Louis. Apparently it is a sponge cake with a creamy filling with chocolatey layers. I don't know, it looks pretty good. I honestly believe in another life that I was probably a Canadian, because I don't think any sane person would go to this length just to have all these random Canadian snacks.
Station Frontenac.
After I got back here last night, I was just so exhausted that I didn't feel like filming anymore. Anyways, I'm leaving to go back to Florida. First, I gotta take a bus to Plattsburgh to get back on the plane. Quick trip to Timmy's. Honestly, I enjoyed coming back here for the Eclipse, and just to come back to the city in general. I miss this place so much. And now, onto warmer weather. This is the first time in months that my fingertips have gotten cold. I didn't even bother to put on my gloves. There's a squirrel staring at me. Honestly, perfect timing. So this corridor that I'm walking down right now, I actually went to previously because I recognized when I was walking through the Barry Ducam area. It's like a little teeny shopping district for the college students here. I like it, it's cute. And also there's a theater over here, almost like a Broadway theater. Saint Denis. Right now they have The Producers in French. Nice. And they're also promoting The Addams Family right now. La dernière petit déjeuner à Montréal. I'll return sometime. Yeah. All right, on my way to Port Authority, I mean Gare d'Autocars. If I had a nickel for every time I used a train and a bus in a major Canadian city, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that happened twice, right? I think it's pretty funny. Every single stop on that bus is in New York, and then there's just one randomly for Ridgewood, New Jersey. customs. Alright, I'm back in Plattsburgh. So, this Greyhound station isn't even a station, it's a parking lot. And it's right next to a mobile gas station and a Dunkin' Donuts. It's like, yeah. Here you are in Plattsburgh, now we're just gonna drop you off in the middle of nowhere. From here, it's like an hour and 40-minute walk to the airport, but honestly, I'm not going to be walking that. I'm gonna actually just get an Uber today. We have officially left Tim Hortons territory. Now it's Dunkin'. There's a Stewart's shop right down the street, so I'm gonna go there for lunch. So worth it. Back in Plattsburgh Airport. Honestly, being at the Plattsburgh Airport is a plane spotter's paradise. Take a look at this. That's a good view right there. You know, with the amount of times I've watched the Final Destination movies, I'm honestly not scared of planes. It's kind of bumpy today.
Fasten until the aircraft comes to a complete and final stop and the captain does turn off the lighted fasten seatbelt sign. This is your one and only indication that it is safe.
I guess I'll use this as an epilogue for my Montreal video. I just think it's so funny. I left Montreal yesterday, and then today came back to work, and now I'm in the Canada Pavilion here. That's just hilarious. But I think it goes to show like how much I enjoy all things Canadian. I really need to go back at some point. I also wanted to come over here to get a pretty good look at that and try some maple popcorn.